Mind the gap.
So this week's print is the Nautilus Gears, and it's been uploaded by Műszaki on the 24th of July 2012. I was a little bit apprehensive about doing this one because to me it's a fidget spinner, and really fidget spinners, I think they've gone now, they've had their day, but at the same time it's a really fascinating project. The way that these gears move, it baffles me. So this is on Thingiverse, and this is the model as his picture is. Then we've got the video, which I've shown you at the beginning of this video, and the actual files. I got a little bit confused about the files because there's about 8 different files. So this is one of the gears, this is one of the supports, and this is another support but a different shape. But this is the actual file that I loaded up, that I printed. You see we've got 2 gears and 2 top bits. Very, very simple. Each of the supports has a hole and a plug, and then what you do is you pop the plug into the corresponding hole on the opposite side, and that hole was just the right size to fit on the actual hole. Now I always print mine on with a brim, and the main reason I print a brim is because it just gives me the opportunity to make sure my bed is level before actually, because it always prints the brim before it prints the actual model. So any fine tuning I do, then obviously I can do that. So obviously the video that you saw earlier on shows me doing quite a lot of cleanup. Now I did print this on the best mode that I had, the super finest, and to be honest with you, it's the first time I've used that. The actual lines are really good. There's not an awful lot of when you print layers, you get this little gap where you can see the clear definition of the layers. However, it's quite a scruffy print overall. I don't know if that's because of my printer or if it's because of the design, but I personally would say that use your own general purpose settings on this. I certainly will when I do another one, but I thought maybe a superfine setting would make it look nicer, and it is a slight improvement. However, my general purpose settings would have had this printed off in 1.5 hours. Because I had this on the best settings I could, it turned it into a 6-hour print. So although it is nicer, I would say the additional time probably wasn't worth it. So this is a Nautilus Gears based on logarithmic spirals, and it goes on a little bit of brief information, and it shows you how they were generated. I will look at that page in a moment. We'll just finish the description, and then we've got a YouTube video so you can see it in action and how you can buy it if you don't own a 3D printer. He says that he's not going to upload the SolidWorks files because it frankly is a mess of different experimentation, but that's fine. We've got the finished result, that's fine. This guy is very kindly put in, I'm not sure if this is actually a remix or if it's his own work, but whichever way it is, he's put a lot of work in, and we're happy to reap the benefits. Now it looks like he had an old design which didn't work well, so it's lucky that I actually printed the right file. I did find that the fit wasn't perfect and I need to do a little bit of filing, but that again, that may be my printer and not the actual design. However, I would rather the fitting was slightly too big and I've just needed to file it down a bit than for it to be too small. And then it just says print 2 gears and 2 connector bars, place the gears into the connector bar, make sure the gears align as in the picture, snap in the second bar and enjoy. And it literally was as simple as that. I chose to print this off in purple because I like purple, it's my favourite colour, and I think all of my prints so far have been black or white. In fact, I think they've all been black. And to be honest with you, I'm getting a bit bored of printing things off in the same colour. And I've just actually noticed that this is the exact same size as my phone case, so I may actually just glue it to my phone case, and then I got something fiddly to play with on the case, but that's another story. So let's have a look at the original Maple script. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, I don't understand all of this, but it looks, you know, if any of you are geeky and know a lot about maths and science and things, this may actually be of some use to you. And that is taking its time to load. So there we go. So we have the design of the logarithmic spiral gear by closed complex function into DXF format, and then we've got some drawings there about how they work, and I won't go through all of this in fine detail, but if this interests you, then I mean, obviously, as I always do, I always pop in the the link into the description, and then follow that link and that will lead you to this. So that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this week. It's just something a little bit of fun. I've actually had a lot of projects on this week, so it's quite nice to print something off quite simple. If you have any ideas of things that you would like me to print and have a look at, drop a comment in the comments box. Other than that, I'll find something else to print for next week, and as always, I've just not decided yet. If you don't actually know what you'd like me to print, maybe you have a general idea. Would you like to see useful tools? Would you like to see fun things? Would you perhaps like me to print more stuff for the printer? I know some of you guys have got 3D printers and you're quite new to it. Maybe give you some ideas of what you could perhaps print off for your own printer. Would you like me to do some wargaming figures perhaps? So choice is yours. If you want to see something, I'm quite happy to give it a go. Okay, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next week.